Have you ever wondered why people are giving up and opting out in the game of life? I'm going to ask that question again. Have you ever wondered why people are giving up and opting out in the game of life? Tyrone Bowman live. Let's have this brief conversation tonight. Most individuals are stressed out. They're worried, they're confused, and they're overwhelmed with so many responsibilities, commitments, and obligations that they have to keep. And the more that they try to be responsible, the less appreciative people are of them. I'll give you an example. How many ungrateful family members do you have that are depending on one person to do everything? And the more you do for them, the less they appreciate you. How many so-called benevolent, generous employers deep down on the inside, they are just nothing more than a bunch of ruthless wolves and jackals, always jockeying for positions, and they want more and more and more, trying to outwit the competitors that come up against them, their corporations, the manufacturing plants, etc. People are opting out. People are opting out on life because life has given up on them. There is no such thing as the so-called, quote, American dream, end of quote. It's a lie. It's an American nightmare. I'll say that again. There is no such thing called the American dream. It's a lie. It's the American nightmare. For the average individual, the average person, if you would sit down and talk to them and they would be honest and talk to you from the depths of their heart and soul without putting on airs and pretending that they're happy, most people are not happy. They're not happy working themselves to death. They're not happy working 2 and 3 jobs just to make ends meet. They're not happy not being able to spend time with their families. Life is hard, ladies and gentlemen. Life has never been easy from the frontier days of America up until now. And if you search history, going back to the frontier times of this country, of this nation, it was very, very hard cultivating, structuring, organizing, building, coming to a place that basically was a desert, a wilderness, not knowing how they were going to survive. The winters were cruel, the summers were hot, the work was long and hard. Building the railroad stations across America required sometimes up to 20 plus hours a day, 7 days a week. These men worked, breaking their backs, destroying their bodies. Why? To make travel more easier, to make commerce more easier. How many individuals, even though they have worked and worked and worked, and they sit back and they look over their lives as they've grown older, and they're asking the question, what did I spend 40 plus years doing? And what did they get at the end of it? What, a gold watch, a certificate, a cake, maybe a good luck. People are opting out in life because life doesn't treat them fair. They've been told if you follow the golden rule, if you follow the good book, if you do all these things, that you're going to be rewarded. And in most instances, they don't get any reward for what they have done and for what they are doing. This may be hard for some people to listen to and to accept, but it's a stipulated fact. I don't need statistics before me to talk from my heart. I need a script. I'm just speaking based upon what I know. And I know from talking to people, from interacting with people, from listening to people, people are tired. They're tired of politicians. They're tired of preachers. They're tired of religion. They're exhausted from work. They don't have any time just to be themselves. And in order to get ahead, you have to sacrifice. You have to sacrifice a lot of your time. You have to sacrifice a lot of your free time. For some people, whatever the profession that they choose or have chosen, whatever the call they have decided to answer, whatever the decision, even if it's in cultivating a relationship, relationships require time. If most individuals don't have the time to develop, to grow, to learn in a relationship, the relationship will spell disaster. And one of the primary reasons why relationships don't work is because of money and sex. Those are the two main things. The sex can be great, but the money can be horrible. And she is not going to put up with what they call a quote unquote brokey. Well, if both of you are brokies, why are you complaining about the one that's struggling to try to please your ungrateful self? When two people are working together for a common good, for a common cause, for a goal, then they can achieve it. But one person can't do it by themselves. Let's take UPS, for example. I know people who work for UPS and they work some long, long hours and they cannot go home until the last package has been delivered off that truck. The handlers inside the warehouses, sometimes the trucks are loaded with 2,000 items. They have to unpack it from the main truck and they have to take the items and put them on the individual trucks for the drivers/deliverers to take around the country. That's why many times when UPS, Federal Express, and these people come by your house, they have to drop the package off, take a picture, and they have to leave. Because the break time isn't that long. They get up early in the morning, they come home late at night. They barely have enough time to say hello to their wife or to their lover or to their partner. Look at the children. Get some instances they don't even eat. They just pass out, and before you know it, they have to get up and start all over again. What about the doctors and the nurses who work in the hospitals around the clock? Remember during COVID, a lot of doctors and nurses, they essentially lived inside the hospitals because they had no choice. They were always on call. They took naps during the break room. They took naps during shifts. They didn't get any pay increases. But yet CEOs whine and cry and complain because they feel as though $100 million plus benefits is not enough for them to live off of every year. The more employees do, the less they get. The more dedicated you are, the less appreciated you are. The more you sacrifice, the more you burn yourself out. And I'm going to ask you a question before I end this video tonight. When are you going to take care of you? Your mental health is more important than a job. Your body is more important than wrecking it for a cause. Your insanity is more important than allowing people and things and bills to worry you to death to an early grave. Your wholesomeness within you, your dreams, your goals, your hopes, your aspirations, things that you thought about as a child. See, I've come to the consensus in my life. I can't speak for nobody else. I am zoomed in, I am focused in on Tyrone. I don't allow anything, anyone, or anybody to stop me or to deter me or to dissuade me from becoming an attorney, from becoming a criminal justice advocate. As a broadcaster, as a commentator, as a program director, and as a law student, my hands are full. I have no time for foolishness. I have no time for recreation right now. The people that I counsel, the people that I pray with. Yeah, I said pray. You heard me. The people whose stories that I listen to. I can't provide answers, but one thing I have is a sympathetic ear. I know how to listen and listen very well. I've been doing it since I've been a child. It's worked then and it's working now. And the reason why I'm talking in this vein tonight, because I'm trying to get a message across to you all who come to this channel. Take care of yourself. Take care of your body. Take care of your health. Take care of your mental health. Stop giving your all and all to corporations and to politicians. Politicians are some of the most selfish people on the face of God's green earth. They want you to run their campaigns, to run around the neighborhoods, canvass everything, and don't want to even pay you. They want you to work the polls all day long for measly maybe $100 plus. Yet all the money that comes into their campaign, it's all tax free. Of course, it's governed by election campaign laws, but essentially it's tax-free money. So when are you going to take care of you? When are you going to stop allowing people to pull you from the left and to the right? Your first name is not Gimme, and your last name is not Can I. You're an individual. You are a person. You have feelings. You have wants. You have needs. You have goals. You have plans for your life. And it's time for you before time is late, because you won't be young forever. Youthfulness will not always be on your side. Make a decisive decision to put you first. Make a definite decision to go deep within your heart and in your mind and find out exactly what you want to be, to do, and have, and get on the road and get it done before it's too late, because time will be up one day. Time will be up one day for all of us. None of us are going to live forever on this earth. I know some people think they are. Some people think they're invincible. Some people think they're immune to growing older and to aging. Every one of us have a period of time that's been given to us when we come to this planet. What we do with that time and how we maximize that time is up to us. Most people are opting out in the game of life because they have not achieved their goals. You know how many parents are vicariously living their lives to their children? A lot of fathers are vicariously living their lives to their sons, who go on to become basketball players and football players and all type of athletes. But what are you going to do for yourself? What is your dream? What is your goal? What makes you happy? And don't tell me a man, don't tell me a woman. You will never find satisfaction and happiness in a man or a woman. You may find pleasure for a while, but you're not going to find happiness. Happiness is a state of completeness, a state of contentment. Happiness is serenity. It's of mind. You cannot buy happiness. There are so many wives of billionaires. They're grossly unhappy. Their husbands are never home. They live in these great big cold mansions. They've got all these servants, all these rooms that they'll never go into. Beautiful manicured lawns, chauffeur-driven limousines. They can go to Ray De Niro drive. They can go out to California Bear Hills. But you know what? At the end of the day, all they have is a bunch of stuff, more stuff, and more big rooms. But they're empty on the inside. Why do you think so many people are strung out on drugs? And that's why people should stop condemning people because they have a drug habit or they're an alcoholic. You don't know what happened to him or her. You don't know what brought them down that path. You don't know what caused them to spiral out of control. Many of the people that I've contacted, who contact me and I talk to, some were doctors, some were lawyers, some were professors. Yes, some were preachers who were strung out on drugs. One of my best friends, who is a real good, genuine, authentic preacher, and to become one of the biggest drug dealers that I know. Stressed out, unappreciated. So how could it happen? Easy. Sometimes we lose our way in life, and we don't want to admit that we lost it. We don't want to admit that we're wrong. We don't want to admit that we mucked up. We don't want to say, I'm sorry. We don't want to say, you know what, please forgive me. They don't want to say, you know what, I made a wrong turn. I married the wrong person. I got involved in the wrong relationship. I shouldn't have done too many favors. It's never too late to get to that point where you acknowledge within yourself. Don't lie to yourself. You have to live with you, ladies and gentlemen. Don't lie to yourself. Now, I'm not here for views and likes and clicks. I'm here tonight because I want to get a message across, and it's emphatic. That's why I'm speaking in the tone of voice that I'm speaking in. I know many of your lives have been destroyed because I can feel it in my soul. Heck, my life was destroyed. Everything I ever worked for was taken away from me. And I had to start from scratch into doing 10 years in 4 state penitentiaries. People who I knew and loved betrayed me and destroyed me. And I said, to hell with that. It'll never happen again. And I mean that. Never again. Never again will I be a dim-witted pastor so naive to the real world and real life that people could walk all over me. It'll never happen again. And I'm telling you, stop letting people use you as a doormat. Stop letting people walk all over you. Stop letting them take your kindness for weakness. Stop being the one who's always sympathetic and holding stuff in all the time. Yet when you go into your room at night and you close your door, you just want some peace of mind. You're crying silently. You're crying into your pillow. You're trying to find solace in a friend. Your tears are coming all down your face. You cry out unto Almighty God, and it seems like He's not listening. We've all been there. And all the time, if you look deep within you, you got everything that you need to succeed. I said you have everything that you need to succeed. But if you let people constantly berate you, constantly tear you down, constantly remind you. See, sometimes you just got to tell folk very plainly, so what? I used to be a drug addict. So what? I was a dancer. Your behind came up in the club every night, make it rain, make it rain. You just got to talk plainly to people. So what? I was an alcoholic. So what? I did time in prison. So what? What is the problem? You know how many politicians are liars and thieves and crooks and alcoholics and drug addicts and adulterers and whores and prostitutes? You don't see them up there whining and crying. The more power they get, the more power they want. The more liars in hell, the bigger they become. Take care of yourself. People are opting out because nobody will believe what they say. You know how many real victims? The millions of real victims that are walking around in this world, they are hurt. I'm talking about people who were really raped. I'm talking about people who were really molested. I'm talking about people who were really abused and taken advantage of, and nobody believed them when they spoke the truth. And they're walking around hurt and scarred and marred. And once the prosecutor used them and abused them, they went on to build their career. But they're left to pick up the pieces. And sometimes the abused become the abuser, because of pain and hurt and rejection. And some people just can't let stuff go. They can't get over stuff. They just carry it with them. Have you ever met people? They just nag and nag and nag and nag all the time. I remember I read an article about an old man. He was like in his 80s. His wife was in his 80s. He took a gun, he shot her in the head. He killed her. And went to court. And he told the judge, he said, Your Honor, I plead guilty. He said, I did it. And the judge said, before I pronounce sentence on you, why did you do it? He said, because for 50 years, all she did was nag the hell out of me, and I couldn't take it no more, so I shot her in the head. And the judge wouldn't put him in prison, because that judge probably thought about his lifestyle and what he probably goes through when he's at home. Don't you let nobody bring you to the place where you ruin yourself. Don't let people cause you to ruin the best of you. Ladies, listen to me, ladies. Stop letting men break you down to nothing. Stop letting these rotten, no good, thuggish, hoodish men use you for just sex and every type of perverted sex they can think about. And then when they're finished with you, they move on and don't think nothing about you anymore. And they break you down mentally. They break you down psychologically. They break you down emotionally. They break you down physically. And now they're happy because they're not anybody and you're not anybody. Some of you right now are sitting up in prison right now tonight. Or you know someone who's sitting up in prison doing time for somebody that's ungrateful. And your whole life was ruined. And now that you're out, you don't know which direction to go in. So you're opting out. Every job interview you go on, they don't want to hire you. You fix your hair, they don't like it. You know what? Who gives a damn? Don't change your hairstyle to please some employer. If you want braids, wear braids. If you want to wear a weave, wear a weave. Be your authentic self. Reinvent yourself into the best possible person that you can become. And feel good about who you are. Find the good in you and let it come through you. Do all the good you can while you can. People are opting out of life because many people are homeless. People don't have jobs. They don't have health care. They don't have Medicare. Big corporations keep trying to rip them off over and over again. They're coming up with more new lies every single day. You go to the store, you don't even have enough money to be able just to buy a little bit of food to take home for your children. You're trying to find out, how do I pay the gas? How do I pay the electric? How do I keep all these cell phones on so we have the family plan? This is real life. Some of y'all have ailing parents or aunties or uncles. You're trying to take care of them. That's a strain on you. Some of you belong to churches. Every time you go, the preacher's got his hand out. He wants more money over and over and over again. Tithe, 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 tithe. Give, 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 give. The more you give, the more you receive. Well, where are the blessings at, Rev? The only ones who seem to be getting y'all. What about the parishioners? What about the congregants who keep sacrificing over and over and over again? It's time to invest in yourself. It's time for you to know God for yourself. I'm serious about that. I'm not playing. Know the Almighty for yourself. Develop a personal relationship with the Almighty, independent of a preacher. Grow into the real you. Don't let life destroy you to the point where you can't think, you can't walk, you can't talk, and you can't rebound. Because the world will move on without you and leave you right where you are. Technology is changing, computers is changing, the way we advertise is changing, the way we micromanage is changing. As soon as you learn one feature on the phone, they've got another one coming out next week. Everything is dramatically changing at the speed of light. Learn all you can about AI so you can be employed. Don't allow the robotic AI engineers, the robotic computer programmers to outsmart you. That's why it's called artificial intelligence. All the information is gathered from statistics and data and programmed into a machine. I don't care if it can think. It's not a human being. Your mind is your greatest asset. Pardon me. Your mind is your greatest asset. Innovatively, your mind can outthink any computer. Your mind is powerful. Who are you? Who is the real you? Discover who the real you is. Some people that I know come on here all the time, and they know me personally. And I talk like this in private life because I want to see the best happen to even for my friends and associates and people I know. I don't want them being poor. I don't want them living in poverty. I don't want them not being able to laugh and talk. Married couples can't even go out for dinner because they're worried about how they're going to put gas in the car. Talk back to me in the comment section. They don't have enough gas for gas money. Don't have enough money for parking money. Don't have enough money for lunch. As soon as you work your shift, somebody calls out. And then you have to stay there because if you leave, then you won't have a job to come to the next day. Oh, this stuff is real. That's why people are opting out in life. Because life is hard. Life is a game. It's a game of chess. It's a game of spiritual warfare. It's a game of demonic strongholds. It's a game of psychological warfare. And only the strong survive. Go listen to that song by Jimmy Butler. Check it out. Only the strong survive, baby. The weak fall by the wayside. Be strong in your mind. Be strong in your spirit. You better go back to the days when Big Mom and them, they had strength. They showed you how to be tough. They taught you how to withstand the rigor and the hardships and the disappointments of life. They taught us how to pray. They taught us how not to allow race, bigotry, and discrimination beat us down because it beat them down. And they didn't want it to happen to you and I. As I get ready to leave, I'm telling you tonight, stop letting life wear you out. Don't let people wear you out. Don't let your personal circumstances stop you from believing, achieving, and excelling. And the reason why I can tell you, because I am a living example. You can rebound from losing every material thing if you have faith in your heart. And you can build from nothing, even in the presence of your enemies. And they will be astounded by what will happen with your life. So what are you going to do? My time is up, ladies and gentlemen. I got a goal for tonight. Donald Trump needs you to be Secretary of Truth. I'd like to talk to the president one day. Seriously, I really would. I really would like to talk to our president. But that'll never happen. So believe in yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Stay vigilant, stay firm. And hopefully I'll be back here. So I'm going to be going for a couple of days. So hopefully I'll be back by either Saturday or Sunday. So I want to thank you all for supporting and watching this channel. Never surrender. Never quit.